Hey guys,
Hi.
welcome back to my channel. I'm here with my daughter and we are going to talk about Severance. It was a long week. Um, do you have an overall opinion of the episode?
Um,
You want to wait?
it was okay. It was
Mhm.
okay. It was alright. I think I've been hearing the term penultimate from a certain someone,
That was me.
and so I thought the episode was gonna be like crazy, and we learned a lot. And I mean, we know by now we need to trust the show, but this episode was definitely not very actiony, so it was okay. I'm excited for the finale.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's my fault. Just this, make sure that's all right. And we're back. Sorry to you. We may have never left, but I hit a button and stopped it, so we had to start over. So now I am going to be forced to edit. Yay! Yeah, but as I was saying, like 2 seconds ago, now 30 seconds later, that I have been kind of building up penultimate because usually in a show, that's what a penultimate does. It builds it up for the big explosive finale. So that's what I was expecting as well. And I was initially disappointed slightly. I felt like I was disappointed, but ashamed of being disappointed. So I ain't want to admit it.
Yeah.
I was like, ugh.
And I mean, a lot did happen. It just wasn't actiony. Like, I mean, we learned a little bit more about. I mean, a proposal happened. Like a lot happened.
A lot happened, and we saw the characters. Like it still set people up. It still set up our characters for the big thing. It just, I think it's just such a good show.
Yeah,
it's just such a good show that you always want like more.
And like with a lot of shows we've been noticing how like shows can't always operate at a high level. In order to have highs, you have to have lows. And you know, I know we keep referring back to it, but the Gemma episode was like the high of the high.
I agree.
There's no way to really in order for there to be highs, there have to be lows. So we just have to trust that the finale is going to be amusing, which we have every reason to believe it will be.
I agree. I'm excited.
Me too.
And it's a longer episode too.
Yes, I think it's
it's over an hour.
It's over an hour.
So
yeah.
I feel like maybe an hour, 15 minutes, something like that. But I'm excited. All right, so we can get into it. We start. Wait, let me make sure. I forgot. Thank you. So it's Severance, season 2, episode 9. In case we didn't say that, the name of the show, the episode is The After Hours. Oh, I have to start with my favorite thing to do ever.
Yes.
Admitting I was wrong. People think I don't like being wrong. I don't mind being wrong. It's fine being wrong. It's the admitting it part that I struggle with a little bit, which is not true. It's not that I struggle with it. I just don't like doing it, but I'll do it. I'm doing it right now, but I have to like make a speech about it first, apparently, to prepare myself and to prepare you. You're not used to this either.
Yes.
And you are rarely ever in this position of seeing me have to be wrong. Are you okay?
I'm so okay.
But what I was wrong about.
Wait, no. I'm so great.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's her favorite scene of the episode.
Yes, when Harmony asks Mark, "How are you?" and he's like, "Oh, so good."
That was funny.
That's so funny. That's hilarious.
So what I was wrong about was last week, as the show ended with Devin, Miss Cobell answering Devin's call and Miss Cobell talking to Mark. I did not think that was Audie Mark. The way that he said hello sounded so timid and like question-like to me, childlike to me, that I thought it was any Mark. And I was like, I would have died on that hill. I was sure.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, like, again, it doesn't bother me. Some shows I don't like to be wrong about my theorizing. This show, I'm okay with being wrong because who knows
no
what's
one
going
knows
on.
what's happening.
Exactly.
No one knows what's happening.
Exactly, but it's just fun to watch. All right, so we open the episode with Helena swimming. We soon find it's Helena, but you can kind of assume that it's Helena. And then as there's the shot of her swimming in the water, then they go on the swimmer's clock, and then there's her swimming with the hallway in the back, like the long window in the back. That reminded me of the hallway shot of her walking before. I thought that was an interesting parallel.
Her walk is so amazing.
It is. It's iconic. You can tell it's the same person, but the different, like,
energy,
confidence,
the way that she carries herself.
Yeah. Oh, I was surprised that Helena, like, she's just swimming. I was surprised she wasn't afraid of the water.
After, like, you know, awakening to being drowned. Well, that was Helena was being drowned. Like, you know.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. But it was both of them.
They were both from being around
for an amount of time.
Yes.
At least Helena knew that it was about to happen to expect it when he pushed her down. For Helly, she just woke up to it. She was at the gala, and then she was
in the water with Irving pushing her down. Crazy. But you had a thought about the water, the exposure therapy.
Oh, exposure therapy. I can't remember the name.
Oh gosh, obligation something.
Obligation. I don't know.
It was something like
obligation session. I don't know, something like that. Mr. Drummond had said it. When they asked her how her recovery was going, and they offered her another obligation session or something like that, and she said she didn't need it, and I just wondered maybe that's what it was, which is maybe exposure therapy, just like making herself do it to get over it, which I don't know. What a great idea that is. Yeah.
To each their own, I guess.
Right. The Egan way. Right, so then the next shot we see after she gets out of the pool is Helena walking down a hallway. So she got hallways at home too. Bless her heart.
I wouldn't know if I would even call this a home.
Ooh, that's so sad. But accurate.
And we are met with her father once again, James Egan. And what a creepy, creepy man this person is. It's very, very cold. The environment is very cold. His energy is very cold. The way that he speaks to her is very cold. And we were talking about how we know a couple of people are probably going to freak out or did freak out when they saw the egg symbolism.
Oh, yes.
Egg is a big thing with a lot of theories for Severance.
There's a specific channel, Real Enigmas. And he is big on all kinds of symbolism. Like, he goes deep into it. And I think as a lot of people, thousands of us, when we saw the egg, we thought about his channel. I can't wait for him to post his breakdown, because he's going to tell me 100 different things that it means.
Yes. Oh, that's so interesting. Like 2 halves of a brain.
Oh, yeah. When they when she cut open the egg and we saw the half and half, it reminded me of like the brain, the right spirit, and right and left brain.
Yeah. And when they're talking, Helena tells James that they are seeing to Mr. Bailiff, who you helped me remember is Irving, correct? Yeah, Irving. That's something. It makes me think when you say that, when Helena says that she's seeing to Irving, it makes me think that, was Bert helping Irving? Was Bert helping him escape being sought? Like,
yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. I think Bert was supposed to drive him to a different place for whoever to handle him. If that's even true. Bert said that's all he did was drive, but just because
I don't know, Bert, you got something in your eyes that tells me you didn't just Uber.
And all those shots we saw of him at the dinner party night with Fields, where he was like surrounded by fire, they framed him that way for a reason.
It's the same way they framed Harmony at the end of the episode.
Yes, I still don't know that we can trust her. I have no idea if it's the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do.
I don't know if we can trust anybody.
Like, I don't know, like,
where's Vergabi?
Right, that's what I was just gonna say. Could we like just call her, just like,
because I feel like
if
there was a scene with Vergabi and Vergabi and Harmony in the same room, oh, that'd be hilarious. That would be hilarious.
I'm looking forward to when that happens. I would love to know what their dynamic is, and like, I just want to know more about Vergabi. I think I actually have this in a note later on, but I would love next season. I would love it this season. I would love a bonus episode tomorrow. But
I would love like 10 bonus episodes.
Yes, I would like at least an episode from Vergabi's, either her perspective or her experience. Like, either we see what like this past time has been for her, what she was doing when we didn't know where she was, or we pick up from her at this point and see what she's doing right there. Either way, like, I need more of her, because she's very intriguing.
So interesting.
Should I have not paused it? Let's see where we at. Oh, we didn't.
Oh, it was so weird when she was eating the eggs. In response to her saying, "We're seeing to Mr. Bailing," he says to her, "I wish you to take them raw," which like leads us to believe he's talking about the eggs. What the heck? Are y'all out here eating raw eggs, or?
Well, that's his favorite breakfast. In the first episode, when they do the orientation, the training, and they ask those 5 questions, and she got like a perfect score. Unknown. No, I'm mixing up two scenes. I'm sorry, y'all. Forgive me. I'm an old lady. It happens sometimes. But that is true, but that's not where the raw eggs things. The raw eggs was when we saw in flashback when Helena was talking. It was still Helena. She was on the outside. She hadn't went to the 7th floor yet. She was talking to Mr. Milchick. Again, we saw this in flashback, but it was her morning before she came to get severed the first day, right before they showed her actually getting severed. She was talking to Mr. Milchick. They was looking at like a painting or a picture, a sculpture or something of Kier or Egan. Dang, I don't remember which one. But he said, eggs was his favorite breakfast. No, he didn't. He said, he drank 3 eggs every day, every morning for breakfast. Y'all, I'm stuttering, stammering, but it's something like that. I know y'all know what I'm talking about because y'all probably watched the first season as many times as I have. But yeah, I think it's just a callback to that. I'll spend like 5 minutes on that. All right, where are we?
7.
Thank you. Oh, then we see as Helena leaves, we see the property, like the camera shot wide now, and we see the property. And I just noticed that the shape around the house was like a lumen, like the lumen sign, like upside down. And then we saw the water tower. Oh, I'm faster than this. Did you think anything when you saw the water tower?
They're messing with the water.
Yeah.
They're messing with the water. They're messing with the water. They're messing with the water.
It's so funny. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I know. That's like super profound. I'm gonna let y'all sit with that.
Oh, I mean, it is actually. All right. And then after that, we get the opening credits.
Not you having the PJs in the note.
Oh, because that's probably my favorite part of the opening credits is just Mark. For some reason, maybe it's because my favorite color is red, but I love him in his little burgundy reddish PJs, and I'm just waiting for the scene that, because we see things happen in the show and it's a callback to things in the credits, but we don't know it till we see it, like him taking the medicine that looked like sea moss on the table, things like that, or Miss Cobell being huge at the end and illuminating the whole of the book,
or the goats,
the goats,
everything.
The babies is another one I think from this episode, but we can do that later. What was my point? The opening credits. Oh, that PJs. He's wearing red PJs in that. And I can't wait for I want to see a scene in the show where we see Mark, getting out of bed or going to bed and he's wearing the red pajamas. I will scream. I'll be so excited just to see those red pajamas. I don't know why, but I know it will make my day when it happens.
And she also has a note here about their opening credits. Can I talk about there being James baby?
Oh, yeah.
So there's a bunch of babies in the opening credits. And, like, initially we're kind of made to believe that they're probably Mark's babies. But our thought is that maybe it's actually those are actually James babies, and the reason that we think this is because when toward the end, when Harmony and Devin are kind of smuggling in Mark to this birthing retreat, Harmony is trying to get her way in by talking to the security guard, and she says that Devin is carrying one of James' babies, and that no one is to know. So, like, how many Devons are there? How many women are carrying James' baby that aren't, like, known about? And I think that kind of fits into the character of him being kind of a sleazeball that stole all of Harmony's work as well. He seems like trash. So that's really curious.
Yeah, and I wish I had a little more religious depth, because I think somebody else would be able to process this a little better. But also, they talk about, like, in their Bible, their lore, Kier's children. And if the Egans are trying to model themselves after Kier's children, does that make sense? That maybe he thinks he's supposed to not just look at, like, God's children. We are God's children, if that's what you believe. Is he, instead of using it as, like, the abstract concept of people who praise Kier are Kier's children, maybe he actually needs to, like, make a bunch of children and, like, make him have, like, a lot of, like Nick Cannon.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. Or Elon Musk.
Oh.
Yeah. That's a mess.
I don't have a segue. Let's see.
Yeah. We got a little political there, I think.
No, we're fine. Because they both have a bunch of babies. Just facts. Alright. So then we see Mr. Milchick in the, looks like conference room with Miss Wong. And he's gifting her the statue that we recognize from last week. Are you going to read it?
Yeah, I just wanted to know what it says. Sorry.
It's alright, I want to know what it is.
1 sec, guys. Sorry.
Oh, they're fine. They know. Be patient with us.
Lumen, James Egan Wintershide Fellowship, Eustace Huang, Year of Vision. I doesn't really tell you anything. I was just curious.
No, but we know her first name now. I don't know if we knew her first name before.
Eustace.
Yeah, and we know it's the year of vision. Maybe because the vision, you know the expression, your vision coming to fruition, like it's happening. This is supposed to be the greatest time in history of the whole company when Mark completes Cold Harbor. So maybe, I don't know. But we recognize the statue, the head from last episode with Harmony when she had her notebook with all her original ideas.
And told Hampton, hold my head.
Hold her head. I was just like, so what does that mean?
My mom said she thought it was just Harmony talk.
I thought she meant like watch my back, like look out for me, but because they always say things in the most weird way.
So something to note is when Mr. Milkshake is saying congratulations and stuff, first he doesn't sound like he's congratulating her. He sounds like he's condemning her. But he says that she is going to be looking over global stored reforms or something like that. And we've heard the term reform. Remind me of when. When Mark had finally came in this season, after Mark had was contemplating quitting and they had fired the other people, but they wanted Mark, they needed Mark back. Mr. Milkshake showed Mark a newspaper and told him that, like, the headline was something like any lead reform. And then after Helly and Dylan and Irvin had come back too, and they were all together, like they were showing them like the videos, this propaganda of how things were going to change now, and it was absolute BS. So that makes us wonder, what is Miss Huang actually going to do? And not only does that make us wonder, it makes us slightly scared for her, because this little girl looks terrified.
She does.
As he's speaking, she looks horrified and so scared. So I'm really curious as to what Miss Huang is going to be doing. Is this the end of Miss Huang? Do we see any more of her later? I really wonder what she's doing. She's promising.
Yeah, and I don't know that. I don't think we've seen that expression on her face. Like I haven't seen her look that scared. And she was good at looking terrified, but looking like she was trying not to look terrified. I do worry about her. I don't know where that bus is taking her. Let's see. Empathy awaits. And when he says empathy awaits, it does not sound like there's empathy awaiting. It sounds like a threat. Like, yeah, it's everything that his tone and the words that he's saying are like opposing. If that makes sense. And so at this point, I thought that this was punishment, that he was punishing her for her negative critique of what we assumed was her negative critique for his job performance, the paper clips and using too many big words. But later on, we have reason to think that maybe that didn't come from her.
And that makes us relook at her entire character.
I can't wait to do the rewatch after the season's over, because everything's going to be so different. Yeah. Not all the way, because we don't get all the answers.
Oh my gosh, it was also so interesting. She basically has to give like a token of sorts. So Mr. Milkshake tells her to lay her... that was the trier.
Sorry.
He tells her to lay her game down on the table, and he like puts it on this towel. And first thing I want to note is that the game is quite interesting, because it shows Kier swimming, and she smashes it and breaks it open. And in the opening scene, Helena was swimming. I don't know if those are connected, but it's something interesting. And breaking it with the head was symbolic. Weird.
But like symbolic of what?
Yeah, right? I was like, yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. It was definitely. And I didn't, until you said, I didn't know how she knew to smash her. Like when he set it down, how she knew that was what she was supposed to do. I thought just like give it to him. But hearing you discuss it and say he put down a towel, I was like,
yeah, it clicked me too when I said that. I was like, oh, it's a towel, Savannah. Yeah.
It's like, why else would he put down that towel? Like, she's a bright girl. But I didn't get it at first. But I don't get a lot of stuff at first. A lot of stuff. We did watch it twice.
They didn't have to know that.
I'm just so honest. I always look like down here, but you always move it up. Thank you so much.
You got them. Oh. Let's wait for her to get to Dylan.
Well, we talk about he tells her that the shuttle is coming for her.
Yes.
It's waiting for her at dusk. Which is weird that they didn't use a time. Why not like 6 o'clock, 6:30? Why just dusk felt strange, but I guess it set her up to be in a position just be out there waiting for them to pull up. But the language that he used was weird, where he said, your bed will be moved from your parents' home to the wherever that location was.
It's somewhere in Norway. It was like the Egan Gunnel Empathy Center, something like that. It's located in Norway.
I wonder if for me, that feels like the first time we've gotten like a real country in a location. Like I don't remember them ever saying anything about like America before or the United States before.
And it's just intriguing. It's intriguing for sure. Yeah.
I still wonder about her parents because they didn't get to say goodbye to her. And like at first I didn't think she had parents. I thought she might be like an orphan or like a looming baby raised there. But for him to say from your parents' home, what if they mean parents in a term of like all Kier's children? Am I doing too much? I don't know. I might be reaching. I'm sorry. It's like everything's a possibility in this show.
And then we cut to Gretchen and Dylan. Gretchen.
She had an attack of conscience. She just wanted to do the right thing now.
But girl.
Yeah.
What did JoJo say? It's just a little too late.
Like that song came out when I was like 12. Good music lasts.
Like, girl, like that's a mess. He's about to go to work. You said he's making a smoothie. He's trying to be healthy. He's trying to be better.
Yeah,
and was. How? Imagine getting told from your wife, the mother of your children, yo, by the way, I kissed another version of you for 60 seconds, and lied about going to see him, and we basically like have a whole thing, and I like him a lot more than I like you.
This is basically
have a good day at work. Like,
and it would be worse. It would be better if she had told right away. But the fact that she they not only didn't tell him about the kiss,
but she came up with a lie.
Said she didn't even see him. I guess you were busy. I guess she was busy. Like, cause then
you're cheating on him.
Yeah,
with him. What?
And you have to when a person that you trust betrays that trust and lies to you once about one thing, then you got to wonder about maybe that's just me. But I know it's very hard for me to trust someone after you catch them in one lie, because it's like, if you can look at me and lie to my face about that one thing, then what else are you lying about? What else have you lied about? I can see why he's kind of like,
wow.
Yeah, he's lost.
And when he says like, oh, it really hit me when he said that he's gonna go to work and go get a paycheck for, their kids. And it's really interesting, the parallel of him talking about how he might quit, and then Dylan coming to that conclusion himself and putting in the resignations forms. And I know that's later, but I also just want to say that I think it's really interesting the way that Mr. Milchick and Ms. Wong handled the resignation thing. Mr. Milchick had such an air of disdain about him, saying like, I hope you know this reeks of ungratitude, which, ouch. And Miss Wong, we got to see even more of a childish side of her, apologizing and saying that she wished she had facilitated better, which made her seem even more, especially with her seeming so scared in the beginning. That side of her just makes her seem even more personable and more like less of a brat, I guess. So yeah,
I agree. It was something else. I remember. Oh, when you said about Mr. Milchick being so upset with Dylan, I think that this is out of order, guys, but seeing how Dylan reacts to losing Gretchen later, made me understand like how much he was actually like in his mind living for her, how much that relationship, his love for her meant to him. That's, like he said, that's all that he has. Knowing that it carries that weight, and knowing that Dylan wanted to know it, he was before when Dylan was doing this and holding everything open for the OTC in the first season, and Milchick was trying to get him to open a door, and he was trying to bribe him and stuff. Dylan wanted to know about his kids, when he attacked Milchek, and I think he might have bit him, he said he wanted to know his kids' names. So I feel like Milchek felt like he was doing, I think so. He was doing something so kind, so generous, so nice for him. He's like, dang, I'll let you see your family. Let you know about the kids. I gave y'all private time. And then this is how you return the favor.
That's true.
Yeah, so.
And Mr. Milchek is going through a lot.
He is. He's been going through a lot ever since Helena got down there. She was the catalyst for everything.
So then we cut to Irving, and first thing I see when Irving comes in is, what's the dog's name?
Radar.
I
was so happy to know that. I was like, Radar.
He said Radar isn't a good guard dog. Radar won't barking. Radar won't nothing. And I will say, I feel like dogs typically have a really good sense for humans' kind of energy, and if they're a good person or not. Kind of like babies. I've heard babies are good like that too. I don't know if Radar's silence represented Bert not being a bad person, or Bert being like a really bad person. But it was kind of chilling to see that Radar wasn't even barking. Was he scared? Was he calm?
That's good. And I didn't occur to me that he would be scared before, but I'll say that maybe he was scared, and maybe that's why he's silent, because we also didn't see him or hear him barking when Mr. Drummond broke in. Like, we were like, where was Radar? Why you don't break into somebody's house with a dog?
Yeah.
And them not at least alert that. So that was interesting. I didn't even think of that. Good job.
Thanks. Comes to me naturally.
Yes, through your DNA, naturally. All right. So then we see Bert reading out Irving's notes that was in his trunk that he had been first, where he was surveying everybody at Lumen, the same papers that we've seen throughout the first season, and then Mr. Drummond was going through. And in the writing, Irving calls Bert a goon, a suspected goon or something like that. And Irving said, we never use words like that. And like, who is we? Is the we mean we at Lumen?
Me and you.
Me and you. Did they know each other before? Is this not the first time is this truly a tragic love story through time? Have they been together and severed and not known it? Like, I know they're older, so I don't know whether they'd be into doing something like that, but I would watch a spinoff of them too throughout the year. I would watch a spinoff of everybody, but
that's real.
I'd love to see if that was true. But he asked him to go for a ride with him. Will strongly suggest.
I think he demanded.
Yeah, that's pretty true. You're so scared.
So
I was very
chilling.
scared for Irving.
I'm still a little scared for Irving.
Then we go to hallways. Oh, so we're back at Lumen, and we see the Dr. Dennis. Oh, is it Maurer? Do you remember his name? I think it may be Dr. Maurer, something like that.
I'm actually not sure. I just think of him as the dentist.
The scary guy is down in the, I don't know what to call that room.
Server room?
Basement server room. Maybe basement server shadow.
Shouty.
I'm just trying to make my stuff stutter. Just because I know so many words and I want y'all to hear them. No, but
you know too many big words.
That was really clever.
Gross.
It's meta. All right, I don't know. I don't like that. All right, but we see him in the room watching one of the monitors. I don't even know which monitor he was at, either, if that even matters. But he's watching Gemma, and she's just kind of sitting at the desk, not doing anything.
Tracking the Cold Harbor progress, and he sees that it's 96. But before we get into that, something funny is that he has a Lumen Band-Aid on his forehead, and that shows because Gemma hit him in the head with the chair. And something really funny is we see him getting hit in the chair, he gets a Band-Aid, but when Bergabi drilled a hole into Mark's head, she just put a little piece of tape on it and said, oh, we good. You can't even get so a hit gets the dentist a Band-Aid, but a literal drill into one's head doesn't earn a Band-Aid from Bergabi.
Bergabi didn't have no Band-Aids.
But
she got all the rest of the equipment. No gauze.
Girl, if you don't go to
nothing.
CVS and get you some Band-Aids,
I know. That's so crazy.
Crazy.
We also saw when Mark Helly threw the stapler at Mark when she first got there, and he had a Band-Aid too.
Vaguely.
And they told him he had. Oh, I don't remember. I know when he had the bruises on his hands, they told him he had dropped a water cooler, and that's why he got a free gift card to Pips for the inconvenience. I don't remember what they told him happened with the scar on his head, with the scratch, cut, bruise.
So here, the doctor called Drummond and basically said, hey, the number isn't moving for Cold Harbor. And then Drummond called Milchick. I feel like the kind of communication channel like that, the line of command is super interesting to me. Like, is the doctor not allowed to talk to Milchick? Like, I'm interested in that. Why wasn't it direct? It felt like they were almost playing a game of telephone. Very interesting to me.
And that makes me want to think maybe Mr. Drummond is just a glorified middleman.
That's what it seems like. And that's why Mr. Milchick felt like he was okay in putting him in his place today.
We'll talk about that soon. Yeah, that was intense. But Milchick just suggests that Mark is just running late, and he tells it to Mr. Drummond as if it's not that serious, but you can tell he's worried, and they zoom in on his face. Then we see Helena. Why I always want to call him the wrong one. Haley coming out of the elevator, and she's doing her signature Haley walk, like she got somewhere to be. And Mark isn't there, and you can tell. You know what? I couldn't tell. There's a scene later where she goes to see Milchick and says, he hasn't been here 2 days in a row. And I wondered when I saw that scene, this is why I rewatch it so cool. I wondered how she knew it was 2 days. Like, well, no, she would have known it was 2 days. I don't know what, I wondered something. But then when she came in there, the way I'm watching that now, seeing how she come in that room, she was expecting Mark not to be there. Like you could tell that was at least second time that had happened. She was on a mission to go see if Mark was there because he wasn't there the day before. I went all the way around and I'm sorry. I'm tired, y'all. Forgive me. All right. We see Mark and Devin, finally.
And it's clearly Audie Mark because he's being a jerk. He's being a jerk.
Yep. And I had to pause the TV for like 10 minutes and accept that was Audie Mark. But I got through it. Thank you for your support. But at least he is also thinking maybe they should have called Miss Cobell. And that's probably why his tone was like that. Because he was like, I don't want to do this. This is stupid. But Devin seems to think it's a great idea. I still don't know if it's a good idea.
It's really weird. Devin asks him, are you okay? He's like, yes. She's like, where are you? He says, in this smelly car. And then she asks him, am I me or a copy machine?
That was weird.
I don't know. I don't know
if it's like, because women have the babies and you produce.
Clones?
That's the other thing. Or cloning.
Did he literally look at her and think she was a copy machine? Look, I don't know.
It was... Well, you know what? He probably told her about the flashes she was having of seeing other stuff. Remember when, like, Mark would be at work and he would open the refrigerator but see the refrigerator at home? Maybe he was telling her about those visions where things would, like, phase out. So maybe he did think that she was a coffee machine. Before. We laughed, but that's, like, perfectly logical when you think about it. You're so smart. We see them going back and forth. He says, we told her everything. She didn't tell us anything, which does not surprise me.
That lines up with Harmony. She could barely utter the words Cold Harbor, wanted to be so quiet and mysterious. Right. Lord, girl.
Her work is mysterious and important.
You're right.
Or is it important and mysterious?
Either way, it was funny.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Call from Mr. Milchick is calling them.
Cause he got Drummond on his back.
Yeah.
And Drummond got the doctor on his back.
Which is very much like the job structure, corporate structure. Well, not even just corporate, any job. You have the people on the bottom and then
there's
the
a line of
command.
command.
On top. And if the people at top, it's just, the pressure goes down. And that's unfortunately the way it is. All right, we see Hallie walk into Milchick's office. Wait, what'd I miss?
There's a part, right as Harmony meets with Devin and Mark, sorry. We noticed that they're meeting in snowy woods and the weather is cold. As per usual, it's always pretty cold. And we were talking about it because it was pretty cold in the first season as well. The only time we've seen the weather nice is in flashbacks with Gemma. That's the only time the sun was ever shining.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's really interesting. Because that was when the world was more populated as well, or at least when Kier was more populated as well. So there's something to be said for that.
Yeah. I don't know what it means, but...
do we ever? It means something, guys.
We will when the show is over. We will understand everything, and it'll be a beautiful day. Yes. And as soon as we watch the finale, when the show is over, I'm going to go right back to the first episode immediately. Oh, that'll be so exciting. And so Helly is in Milchick's office. She's asking about Mark. That's when she says he's been gone for 2 days. She talks about the nosebleed. Like, she's obviously genuinely, like, worried about him. But she gets she's feeling her privilege a little bit. That Egan,
she said, "Don't you mean Helly E?"
Yeah, like, you remember who I am?
And then he called her insubordinate. So
yeah. She tried to remind him who she was, and then he told her who she was.
But you know what she still did? She didn't leave that door open.
No, because she don't care.
She don't. She's so tired.
And I wonder. Well, this is obvious, but I was gonna say I wonder how much of her boldness comes from the fact that she's had such a life of privilege. But has she really? I think she's had money. I don't know how much.
She don't really seem like she's allowed to make her own decisions.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. And when rich people complain about their problems, I stop listening because I'm like, what problems? But it's a tragic story, tragic existence. Oh boy, are you ready for this?
Okay, so Gretchen decides to tell Dylan, hey, so basically I told my husband about us, and Dylan, in his sweet childlike innocence, says, is he glad for us? No. He's not.
Not even a little bit.
No, he's very upset. And I want to note again, I think it's really interesting that she still pretties herself up for him.
Yeah.
Girl, you still being ugly. You're still being ugly. You're being ugly for even being there. Like, girl.
You don't think she should have warned him? Because, like, what if they already had, like, the appointment was standing. He already knew this was supposed to happen. And then she just never came.
You right. That's true.
That's
still ugly.
She could have ghosted him. That's what that means, right? Is that Severance ghosting? See, I told y'all. Not like regular moms.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry.
Oh, my Kier.
And then, but is it too much if I say on Saturdays we wear blue?
Yes.
I tried.
Yeah.
He's devastated.
Yeah, he says he should be happy for us. I make you happy, and he doesn't. Okay, Dylan.
Well, he knows that he sees her smiling, and we don't know how much she's revealed about, like,
their relationship.
Audi Dylan, but
I know she said a bunch of bad stuff about him.
Yeah.
She said, your Audi struggles with keeping a job.
She tried to say it nicely, but
yeah.
He said, what, is he a fuck up? She said, no. Yes. Not that I'm calling him that, but it's very clear that at least some part of her has that opinion.
And they're essentially going back. He says he can give her a life. She's like, no, you have so much going for you. He's like, no, I only have you, and like pencil erasers. And then he proposes.
I wonder, like, what was his plan? Because he had that with him. That's why he was sitting there nervous. He's like, I'm about to pop the big question. What does that mean, though?
And like, what life are you gonna, like, give her? Is she gonna still stay with the Audi? I
think he genuinely thought it would be like the three of them. Like, she would come be with him and then go home and be with him. Which I can see in some relationships or a world where that would work for some people. Like, I think for some people, I think they would be okay with that. I get why he wasn't, though. Why Audi Dylan wasn't. Oh, but this is why I paused it. I wanted to. They zoom in on. I think they zoom in on it later when he's with Helly, but the colors of it stood out to me because it was white and blue, and what it is the finger traps. Remember the free gifts they give, like the perks that they earn. They had a scene where Miss Wong was playing with one, but it's like a finger trap. It's like a long cylinder, and you put your fingers in it. I just thought it was interesting to have a ring made from a finger trap, like.
That is interesting. Again, symbolic of
something. Yeah, I'm sure some people would say marriage is a trap. I think being severed is like you're trapped in there. I think and it may have just been, no, there are no happy accidents in Severance, so it was intentional because they could have had to make it out of anything. I feel so bad for him. I feel bad for all three of them. I say all three, all two. Oh, there it is. Oh, well, it's gone now. All right, so we see Helly trying to console Dylan, make him feel better, saying that Gretchen was just some random woman and not someone that actually loved him. And we're back. Y'all didn't even know we left. We just took a whole 10-minute break.
We did.
And we want to pick up where we left off. We were talking about Helly trying her best to console Dylan. He must have, told her about the rejection. At that point, I wasn't sure that the other innies even knew that he was having those visits with Gretchen. I thought he was supposed to keep it a secret.
I thought it was a secret as well, actually.
Maybe it was supposed to be a secret, but he just, he told
them.
Yeah, which that makes sense because
Dylan's a yapper.
Yeah, and they probably saw how happy he was.
Yeah, those were like his only friend.
Yeah. Right, but she's saying Gretchen is just she's just some random woman. She didn't love you. You don't treat people you love this way. And reminding him that he did have, that he had a friend in Irving and that Irving cared about him. It felt like she might just be, I don't want to say being selfish, but it's convenient to use that to transition into, about that map.
Yeah.
Because those are her goals, but she wants it to be their goals. And I think Helly forgets, maybe that inherent privilege, that even once her life is over, the Innie's life is over, if they don't keep her, that Helena will be okay. Like, she doesn't need to work at Luma to pay her bills.
Yeah.
Dylan is in a different financial situation. Like, I know it's not his kids, but it is his kids and his wife. And to know that, like, that would hurt them.
There's a financial difference which makes all the difference.
Facts. And she's don't even know yet. Hey, I'm sorry that you have to know that.
Come on.
I know. Y'all don't even know. We just had a whole conversation just now, and maybe I'll tell you about it in a couple of weeks or so. All right. But Dylan's being rude.
Really?
It does the Helly brings up the hallway and the map and reminds him that Irving was his family and that they should do something with that.
And he says that basically it's her fault they're all down there. And
what did you take that to mean?
I think that he's just throwing back in her face who Helena is and who her Audi is.
He's blaming her as an Egan for the Egan legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like, he says to her that he was confused as to why they couldn't tell the difference. And then she says, sorry guys, she says Irving could tell the difference. And he says, well, Mark couldn't. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you can tell he acknowledges that he's being a jerk. But, I mean, like, he's still being a jerk.
Yeah, but the way he says, like, sorry, guess I'm an asshole down here, too.
He doesn't,
right.
He's not.
He doesn't, he is checked out. He is devastated and heartbroken. Which is realistic. Breaking up sucks. Especially if you're not the one doing the breaking up. And, like, he can't imagine. He's imagining his existence without having those visits to look forward to. And we back out in the middle of the snow. And we see Mark and Devin have been posted up waiting on her. Miss Cobell, she arrives, and another crazy, weird, awkward Miss Cobell scene. I don't think there's ever been a scene that she's been in that I've been able to like relax? Predict the flow. Yeah, to just like watch. I'm always like trying to understand what's happening, what's about to happen. Oh, and that's your favorite scene?
Yes. Oh, when
you want to? Let's see. I can go back to what he actually said. Oh my god, so good. He's doing so good.
My wife's being held prisoner at Lumen, and I just got brain surgery in my basement. So, like, hashtag goals. Like, wish I was Mark right now. Like, that scene. Oh, I was laughing so hard. I love Adam's delivery on so many of his lines. Like, he has captured Mark so well.
Severance is funny that way. It's funny that way. Like, this is not a comedy,
but it's hilarious.
So funny. It's so funny.
Like, I can't get over it. Oh my god, so good.
So, and Miss Cobell retorts to that you know, there's no need to be rude. We're allies now. We're on the same team. And he's like, are we? And I don't know if y'all
Harmony. I don't know if you have a single ally except for Hampton.
Like, I don't know that she went to get the papers to prove that she was behind everything at Lumen, and she should get credit for it, get her job, and like burn the company down, or does she want to get her job back, or like, I don't know what she wants. I've never known what Harmony wants.
Yeah, I think that's impossible to know what Harmony wants.
She's so hard to read. And so then she asked him, he's like, I just want to know about Gemma. I need to know if my wife is, if she's still alive. Well, he wants to save her to know if she's still alive. And Harmony says, well, if you haven't completed the file, no, she said if you have completed the file, then she's dead already. I'm wording this so wrong.
She basically says if you haven't completed the file, and he's like, what file? And then she says, Cold Harbor.
And the crazy thing is, that's not even exaggeration, because we're watching it on mute down here below to keep us on track, and like, that was so long. Like, was she's
so dramatic
considering not saying it? Like, you done came all this way.
No, I think she was just like, ooh,
making way for it.
Yes.
So strange.
She's so strange.
Do you have any guesses to what Cold Harbor might, like? I imagine at some point in the next episode, in the finale, we'll be like, oh, that's why it's called Cold Harbor. Do you?
Oh gosh.
No pressure. I think it could be a lot of things. It could just be like because we already acknowledge how cold everything is.
Harbor makes me think of like water, right? Like, yeah. That's like, so cold, wet. That makes me cold, wet, and Gemma.
Remember that's what
I'm thinking of.
When she was wearing the purple and she was wet.
So I don't know.
I do. It's so much I want from the finale, but I do hope we get to see when she died. Like, if it's her car that was in the water, going into the icy water in the opening credits, or if it's Miss Cobell's. Miss Cobell ain't driving her car no more.
Yeah.
She in the truck.
I really wonder
what's
up with Hampton.
Yeah.
What's up with Hampton? What's up with Sissy?
Maybe that's why Mr. Drummond is such a bad mood. Maybe he didn't get to tame Hampton's tempers. Maybe Hampton beat his ass.
That's funny.
That is funny. I don't think it's
that's
highly possible. Very likely. Because Hampton wouldn't have gone down easy. Or Mr. Drummond is does not. I don't think he would be that like spry. I don't think he'd be good at like a fight.
I don't know how. Maybe he's well. Listen, Rickens was able to climb walls, so maybe Mr. Drummond got something in him. Okay,
that didn't happen. I need a flashback of that before I believe it. I can believe everything else in this show, but I can't believe that. No disrespect to the actor. Maybe he's great at climbing walls.
More talk on just how unsettling Miss Cobell is. Mark is in her face yelling, oh, she better be effing alive, da-da-da. And Harmony is just staring, like, cold, not even looking him in the eye. Like, she is so hard to read. And then it's like, it's so interesting seeing her tell him what to do, call Mr. Milkchick, and put in her big girl voice. When, girl, I just saw how you was with Sissy.
I need more of Harmony's backstory, too. I know we got her. I want to know what happened after she went to the, when she got the Wintertide Fellowship. Like, I want to see her relationship with Jane Egan. I want to see her growing up. I want to see how she went from being the little girl working in the ether factory to Harmony Cobell. Like, yeah. I wonder if she's ever been in love.
I know Hampton has.
Oh, Hampton's still in love. He's still got it bad.
I ain't never seen somebody run out of a store that quick.
Oh.
Shop that quick. Tell Dot with the tank. The oxygen tank to close up. I know Dot's still trying to close up.
So then we see how Harmony is... She told Mark what to do, told him to call Mr. Milkchick and say that he was sick. And Mark was like, I don't want to do it. And Devin was like, we should do this. And then they kind of go back and forth. And we cut away from them. And then we're back with Helly.
Sorry. I got something to say about that.
Please.
The scene with the phone call is so intriguing to me.
Well, I think
Wait,
that's gonna
that's
happen
later.
later.
Yeah.
They actually show that. If you want just to...
Okay, guys. So
stay
hold
tuned.
that thought.
All right, Helly's doing her heli walk. I don't know. Is this?
This is when she goes to grab the map.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't even remember the scene where she's going in the room. The light is off. She has to turn the light on. I don't remember her walking into that room. But she was walking like she was on a mission because she was.
Like she always walking like she on a mission.
She always got somewhere to be. So we see her find the map. And then we see Dylan also walking down the hallway.
Sullenly, so sad.
Yeah, but like the exact opposite of what Helly was. We're flashing back and forth. So she finds the picture and the map.
And sees the directions.
It's a lot of directions.
And all of like the same words. Right, left, right, left, right, left. There's no variation.
With those hallways.
Yeah.
How do you even... Like, when did he make that? Or he got those from Felicia. Felicia gave him those directions, actually. So I guess they must have went there so much that she had it memorized. Yeah, because they memorized how to get other places from Frequency. So then we are back with... Wait. Oh. Bert and Irving.
46.
Thank you. So Bert is giving Irving the bad guy speech.
Okay, so guys, I don't know if you've seen Silo before, but there's a scene where Sims is talking to Doug, and he's about to kill this dude, and he starts monologuing. He starts talking about his dad when he was a kid. If somebody starts talking to you about their dad and monologuing, you're about to die.
Especially when it's Sims, like the character from Silo. Like, just everything about that scene lets you know it's like R.I.P. Doug.
And this scene was given R.I.P. Irving, R.I.P. Radar.
Oh, poor Radar. But yeah, that's what I was thinking. But Bert tells him, I never hurt anybody.
Okay, Bert. Whatever
I just drove them places. And then Irving says, wait.
Is that what this is? You driving me right now.
And Bert says... Nothing. Apparently, we don't get to know if there was even any more conversation till they get to where they're going. Then we see Dylan has made a decision. When he said he didn't want to be without Gretchen, he does not want to be without her. So he decided he's going to resign, which effectively ends any Dylan's life.
Yeah, and I remember we were talking about this, and I remember you saying, I remember like being surprised that he was resigning, and you were like, you said something to the effect of, if Mr. Milchick even gives Rowdy Dylan this resignation for him, who knows? But there's I'm reading the exact quote. As he's signing it, Mr. Milchick says, "I'm sure you know this is very disappointing and reeks of ingratitude."
And that's why I know you said you were bothered by this. The reason I imagine what he's thinking of is you should be grateful.
Everything, yeah.
Look what everything I did for you. I let y'all go outside. Well, we don't know if they was outside. But
and look what happened outside. But okay, I get it.
Like, he was
nice compared to how Drummond would have run. Compared to how Drummond would have run the floor, Milchick is a godsend.
Yeah, and how Harmony ran it from what we saw.
He tried to make it more lively, I guess.
Yeah, try to offer some like joy, humanity. Yeah,
and we already talked about how like Miss Wong was.
Yeah, she feels responsible. She apologizes and says, she thinks it's her fault for not being a better facilitator. And Dylan turns around and says, it's not your fault. But he doesn't say it's not Mr. Milchick's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's, I don't know if I did say this before when we talked about Miss Wong, but, like, it's not just that, like, she's feeling responsible for him, like, quitting a job. She's thinking about, like, this is going to be the end of him. And it's a contrast because in the episode where they had to have Irving's funeral, the bereavement ceremony, she said, I don't think we should give them a funeral. It makes them feel like people. Makes them feel like people. Versus now, like, I feel like she's looking at it in a completely different way. Probably because she's about to be sent for some empathy. So, yeah.
And then we cut to Drummond talking about tightening the leash. So since we saw, which has been my favorite scene with Natalie, since we saw the scene where Natalie is giving Milkshake the paintings that are like Black Egan, the underlying like racial tensions, and we've even seen in interviews or behind the scenes the directors themselves talking about wanting to implement that. Like, that is what it is. It didn't bother me. It bothered you, but it didn't bother me until this scene. Drummond telling him to use less words, and that's what made us think that maybe Miss Wong wasn't the one that put in that complaint in his performance review. Maybe it was Mr. Drummond.
Exactly. And he might have said about the paper clips too. Like, all of that may have been just him not liking Milkshake. And now, because we had the blackface paintings, and now that, like, I don't like that we have to acknowledge race. I know I'm a Black woman. I know that race, it does play a part of your existence, of work. I get that. But one of the reasons, like, I like science fiction, and what I really loved about Severance is that it didn't, like, everything was weird and out of place. And as in their world building, they never addressed it, so I didn't address it. So now I'm afraid, I'm excited for them to go back and rewatch everything for the added context. But the racial dynamic is going to give Milkshake's interactions a different context too. Like, I'm not excited. I used to love the episode with the music dance experience. Like, they was getting down. Now I don't know if I want to see Milkshake dancing around all the white people. I only say white people like that because they are. Well, not Dylan. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to change that in a negative way. I know this exchange, just the way he spoke to him, it didn't just feel like a boss or your manager, supervisor berating an employee. It felt like, stay in your place, boy. You know, like, it was and maybe that was I don't know if the creators, like, I know that they are intending to tell this part of the story, but I don't know if they understood how that, like, would make me feel. Like, it bothered me, and it kind of tucked me out of the it made me, like, go within myself a little bit, if that makes sense. And I love so much just being in Severance, like, sitting up, leaning forward into the TV like this, and with that I kind of had to, like, lean back, and I don't know, I just processed it differently. But I mean, it wasn't a horrible, it's still a good scene.
Of course.
It was a strong scene. There was some quote in here. Oh, you wanna...
He says, but I thank you for your remonstration. And that is what makes us think that maybe Mr. Drummond is the one that told him, put that in his performance review, the word thing, because he tells him that it was a needlessly complex sentence for a simple idea. I think that's exactly what he said.
Yeah, I was trying to pause it to get it, but I think you got it exactly right.
And he basically keeps telling him to say, I'm sorry. And then Milkshake says, oh gosh, devorium.
Fetulence? Or,
yeah.
Is it fetulence?
I think so. Which just means, well.
Oh, I can say it. She can say it. And I don't know why I was waiting. I don't know what I would do if you would have said it. My reality would have broken. Eat shit.
That. And he says, okay, and I'm going to try to pronounce this correctly, guys. He says, to put it monosyllabically, yeah, guys. When Mark Scout is at work, it's not my fault when Mark Scout when he is not at work. It's yours. He says everything in one syllable. Love the writing on that. And I know that if he had not done that, Mr. Drummond don't know what that word means.
And he said it's slow, too. It's not just that he broke it down. He's just like, I'm going to think. I already used 2 syllables.
It's okay. But yes. Devour pestilence or whatever. You put it there.
Yeah. That was wild. And then walked away.
Yes.
And here's the thing. That's bringing back, like, the racial component of it. I don't know that would play out like that.
I think he'd be fired.
I don't know if he could talk to an older white man in charge, if he is in charge, like that, and just walk off and not, like, be escorted out by security 10 minutes later. Like, I know that Mark is important for Cold Harbor, but I don't think Milchick is that important. If they let Harmony go, then they would let Milchick go. Right. Oh, that was a nice scene. The transition. The transitions are always so lovely. So thoughtful.
So we fade into Mark, and he's about to call Mr. Milchick and essentially tell him that he's sick. But then he kind of does a 180.
Yeah. Because Mr. Milchick wants to send the company car. He's like, oh, look, we'll take care of you. We should treat you here. You're too important. You're a valuable employee. Blah, blah, blah. And that's when Mark's like, let me stop lying.
I'm not sick. I just need a day, okay? And there's a beautiful moment where he says, oh, I just got life stuff. And Mr. Milchick, we see him almost break a little. His voice breaks. He looks more emotional. And here's something really interesting that I noticed. Anytime someone is in his office, without fail, when Mr. Milchick is in his office, there's always a pan out, or there's always a scene where they show this blue painting on his wall of the iceberg, and he stared at it today while he was like breaking down. He's looking up at it, and it's like that combined with what Mark is saying, combined with everything else, seems to break him. I'm really interested in the significance of that painting. I feel like it plays a role. I'm just not sure.
I think the timing is like crucial, because I don't know if Mr. Milchick had just been fresh off that confrontation with Drummond, if he would have been as understanding as he was to Mark. Like, if before, I think it would have been more forceful, but I don't know how forceful he would actually be with Outie Mark.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to scare Outie Mark.
Yeah. But I definitely think it softened him up a little bit. Like you said, if it did not break him, it almost broke him. But
he gets having life stuff.
Yeah, because he got life stuff. I would love to know about his life, like outside of Lumen. All right. Then we see where Bert drove Irving to. Well, first we actually just see Bert getting a ticket for the train. And I did breathe a sigh of relief when we saw Irving
was alive.
Yeah, I thought he might have dropped him off somewhere, as he has done in the past. But he just buys the one ticket. I was sad about the one ticket. Maybe it could have been like a love story. Maybe they could have ran away together. I would feel bad for Fields, though. But then Bert brings up, hey, you asked me why we're severed. And it's because he wanted a chance to be innocent again. Or like that part of him could be innocent again.
And then that part of me fell in love with you. Clock that.
I wonder, is this where I wonder if this is not the first time they've been together. Oh. Let me phrase it right. How does Outie Bert, if Bert is severed and was severed, how does Outie Bert now know for sure that he fell in love with Irving? Like, they assumed he came to his door,
But that could have been anything. How do you know that?
It could have just been part of his investigation. Like, I know he went through his papers, but he didn't, have hearts and eyes and stuff over his name. I don't think there were any hints. And so, I don't know what that means. I don't know if it means that maybe he's not severed, or his severing is different. It's a different form of it. I know there's the possibility that somebody at Lumen told him, but I don't see them doing that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't think that they would. I think there's a missing link there, and I'm interested to know. I hope they fill in that blank. Then Irvin says he's never been loved, which is so sad. He's lived a long life.
And then Bert's like, "Oh, now you have. How does it feel? How you think he feels, Bert? You know how he feels? Yeah. Oh my God, so good."
That was funny. So good. But yeah, he pleads with him. Irving pleads with Bert. He doesn't want this to be the end of them. Now that he's felt love, he wants to keep feeling love. I'm so sad. And then I wanted to get the scene when they put their heads together and he says, he's ready. There was a scene in the first season, and I can't remember whether it was at Bert's retirement ceremony or if it was a different one of their intimate scenes to intimate, but like they have a lot of intimate moments, very personal, but not like sexual. Or if it was one of those moments. But there was a scene where they put their heads together, and Irving said, "I'm not ready." And I can't remember which one it was, so I don't know if it was "I'm not ready to like say goodbye to you," or if it's like "I'm not ready to go
say hello to you."
Yeah, because they also like as soon as he like touched his hand once, he walked off really fast. Like it scared the shit out of him that they had even touched. I think like what he was feeling, and now we know because he never felt that way before, even on the outside. It was such a unique experience to him. It's so sad. It's so sweet. Do you think this is the end of them?
Together, yes. Do I think we'll see more of Bert? Yeah. Do I think we'll see more of Irving? Yeah. Do I think they'll ever have like an epic love story? Yeah.
Well, they already do. It's just tragic. And maybe if they never get the chance to be together again, that makes it even more epic because it's like so sad.
There's a note here that says even the train station looks cold. And something I noticed, there's so many, well, maybe not so many, but like when Mark was at Zufu, there's barely ever anyone there. Generally here is pretty deserted, except for, it's pretty actually deserted, except for the flashback we saw with Gemma. But there's a lot more people that we see here in the train station than we typically do. Lots of people walking by, lots of people leaving here instead of coming to here. So one, why are there so many people leaving? Two, where did y'all come from?
Yeah.
Who are you guys?
Exactly. Maybe it's a simulation and they're just extras. No, I would hate that. People bring up that theory a lot, like it's a simulation. They're all like hooked up to computer somewhere, or it's like a Truman Show type of thing. I don't want either of those, and I don't think that would be the case. I don't think that they would do that to us. I think they've seen the people involved in this show. Like Ben Stiller has been around long enough to know that an ending like that would not play out well with any audience. All right, so then we see Dylan, and he's
wait,
yeah,
there's a funny little scene here, a funny note here. Irving leaving. I wonder if he's finally going to be able to go on that cruise that Mr. Milkshake been telling everybody he's on.
Right.
I really wish the best for Irving. I hope that he's having fun wherever he is. Maybe he will find love. Maybe he can get Radar a treat. I don't know, but I'm wishing him the best.
Like I wish that like Bert would have been like, grab your money, any cash you got,
because like, Irving got cash.
If he hiding, he can't just use his debit card.
Like, what's he supposed to do?
And he said, he said, when he told him to get on the train and gave him the ticket, he said, this train will take you as far as you can go. I can't know where. Like, I can't contact me. That was just a weird way. I know it's a lot of weird talk, weird phrases here, but to say it takes you as far as you can go,
where is that? Like,
what if he still dies? What if that's where he always takes people to drop them off at the train station? And people think they're going to survive, and then, boom. That would be crazy. That would be, ooh. With that, I don't think I could have any good feelings about Bert anymore after that, I think. Yeah. But I'm just, because he didn't tell him to bring any money. He didn't have any clothes, no dog food, like nothing. So I don't know how he's going to survive what's the plan on him surviving and wherever he goes, especially at his age. Yeah. Like, that just occurred to me at this moment. I rewatch. All right, but then we see the next scene is of Dylan, and you really appreciate it. Oh,
he was in front of the painting waiting for the elevator, and the way that they positioned him is where basically it was off with his head. Yeah. Like,
there we go. Just a couple seconds. Maybe they don't. Maybe they should. No, there it is. It's just not
it's
wide
when he gets up. They do.
So it's when he comes back. So then it breaks away from that, and we get back to Miss Wong, and she's outside in dusk, posted up with her backpack
with them little socks and that skirt. Girl, I know you cold.
To go wherever her bed is. Like
I'm so scared for her.
And her, like, I just need to know, does she have parents? Like, I don't know.
And then Bert is at the train. Irving is at the train with Radar. Radar looks so depressed.
Yeah, he's probably an old dog, too. Yeah, he's probably had him for years. It's so sad. After they pan out from this shot, part of me wanted Irving to still be standing there. Like he got off the train and was coming back. I know that would be like, what does that even look like? But, yeah, he doesn't. And what is that expression? He makes an expression that's like, between like sad but also a little smiley. It's just, let me see. No, that wasn't good. I was trying. But yeah, I think he's probably just feeling a range of emotions. Like, he got to finally feel this love, but he had to give it up. And he just left everything behind.
And there's the scene.
Yeah.
We cut back to Dylan, and we can see, like, is this Kier? Is this supposed to be Kier? We see 3 heads. Do we know who those are? Are those the...
I'm imagining they represent the 4 tempers.
Yeah.
Like the woe
and they
Alice,
show...
Frolic.
They show Dylan as the 4th temper.
Oh, what is the other one then? Let's see. It's woe, malice.
Is that the order?
Frolic. I don't know. I'll just write them down because I will look it up later. Woe, malice, frolic. I don't remember what the other temper is. But which one would you... Well, we know which one he would be.
Woe.
Woe. Yeah. That's so sad. But, like, the positioning of it is... Kier's hand
Very
is, like,
intentional.
over his crown of his head. And he has the knife. And it's just, like you said, very, very intentional, very sad, very telling. But we still don't know if they accepted his resignation request. He's just going home. So, because his Audi hasn't had a chance to be told yet. And if he even gets told, we know that we saw Helly get told her in that process with her. But I don't think we can assume that resignation process is for everyone. That may have been just special for Helena because she's an Egan. They could never tell Dylan G. The Audi that he tried to resign. Now, it is interesting that Annie and Audi basically came to the same conclusion. Because Gretchen lied. What if that's the last time we see Dylan?
Ouch.
That's it should be the last time we see any Dylan if he resigns. All right, so then we see a flash of we see the train going.
And then the black hallway.
And the black hallway kind of parallels that. And then, of course, we cut away, and we're back. It's almost dark, and we're in the snowy woods with Davin and Mark and Miss Cobell.
They're all kind of looking at each other.
It's that part at the end of the superhero movie where they're like, all right, we ready to do this. We posted up. They got on their uniforms. We've had the montage, and they're ready to go.
They're ready. And then the most cinematic part is Mark getting under a tarp in the trunk, which is parallel to what Harmony had to do when Hampton was driving.
Yeah. Good thing he let her get that truck. It came in handy.
Yeah. Then we see a bunch of rooms.
Yeah.
Like obscured in darkness. And then, oh gosh, we see Helly and she's in the room and she's trying to remember the direction. She keeps saying left, right, crap, left, right, left, right. And then we see... That's it.
Oh, no. I was like, it's not working.
And then we see James in the background. I'm going to let you take this one over.
Yeah. Well, we didn't know it was him at first. The shape, I was trying to figure out who it was. Like eliminating the possibilities of who it could be. And then, I think I want to make sure I get everything that he says. I think he starts with, you tricked me.
My Helly.
Yep, you tricked me. She turns around. And he says, my Helly. The way that he says it. So, I have another theory that I'll probably be wrong about. But what if that's not the version of James that we've seen? What if that's any James or a different any of James besides the one with, just a different version. Same body, but different, whatever. Cause like the way that he said, first of all, you tricked me feels like not in his dialect. He says, fed it, mop it, and stuff like that. He has the
I wish you'd take them cold.
Yes. Nasty. So I wonder if this is not him. And I know this is pretty similar to what I said about Mark because of the way he said things. But I can't help it. I'm consistent in my way of thinking. And then to say my Helly, that's not... I don't think he would call her my or Helly. Because she's
Helena.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't even claim her, I don't think.
And even if he did call her Helly because he knows she's the any, he wouldn't say... It wouldn't be fondly because he said they're animals.
Helly.
Yeah. Like, you demon jowl.
You vapid mop it.
He even said, when the last time they saw each other at the gala, when he came in the bathroom, he said, what did he say? Because he was like, I sat up in my bed or something when they told me what that any did to you. Like he said it with such disdain that he wouldn't, greet her in a fond way. Is that Mark in the truck? All right. We see them Cobell Drive, and they go through a tunnel at the security gate for the Any cabin. I don't remember the name of it. And this language is pretty weird too. So Harmony just tells the guard, we're going to Cottage 5. The guard says, we don't have anyone scheduled. And Harmony leans in and was like, you gonna do what I said.
She says she's one of James.
One of James. So pregnant Devin, about to have a baby, is one of James. How many are there? How many have there been? Like
that opening scene, the opening credits,
are
those babies.
Kier's children. Are they taking that literally and he just impregnating people? We talked about it.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't want to repeat myself. I'm sorry. Y'all will get old too. And I hope you have a daughter who's there willing to remind you of things. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I wonder what they use for the fake pregnant belly.
That's a good question.
And then she says, Miss Marshall White, 9th floor.
So Cottage 5, 9th floor.
Yeah, I wonder if that's
specialties department.
Yeah, it must be a real person because she recognized it.
And what then she says, I'm looking for a gold thimble. And at first I was like, what the heck is a thimble? And my mom was explaining it to me. And I'm like, oh, the thing that you use in sewing and the Monopoly piece, which is quite interesting.
I explained it to her in sewing terms. She said, oh, like Monopoly, which I think was actually cool. I don't know if I didn't know people still play Monopoly out here.
I love me some Monopoly.
Hello. I don't have hours of my day to play Monopoly to still lose to y'all.
What can I say? I'm built different.
I mean,
it cuts to it cuts to Devin and Mark at the retreat, and Mark is like, transforming into his indie self, and he's about to leave, and Devin says, "No, don't." He'll just walk back in again. So I'm guessing what happens is like when he leaves, he turns into his Audi, and Devin is calling from the other side, like, come back. He comes back, and he's a Zinni. I wonder how many times they've had to go through this. I wonder if the first few times Harmony was downstairs, were they like, maybe Harmony should go upstairs? I wonder how many.
You're so good. That's so insightful. And very plausible. But yeah, I agree that probably has definitely happened more than once. I like the tone Devin's taken with him.
Very childlike. Hey, it's okay. And again, I cannot praise him enough. Adam Scott, man. The way that he's able, just like Helly was able to play like Helena, this scene makes it feel like he's playing two people even more. Innie versus Audi. Like seeing him and in an Audi environment is so weird.
I love I want to quote, what did you just say? You said it makes it clear that he's playing two people even more. And right now, if the reintegration worked, he should be the two people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think that was simple yet profound. He looks terrified. I would be too. The way Harmony looked, it does not look like an inviting room.
Yes, girl. Like, do you have to stand right in front of the flames with that cold stare?
Menacing.
Like, can you like sit in one of the chairs and maybe try smiling or something? Like, I think her smile might be scary.
The only time we saw her smile was when
what the heck?
That was the end of the episode.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. I'm surprised it didn't keep going for the end credits. I might have accidentally hit the button for the end credits. All right, so when Mark sees Miss Cobell, he pauses, he hesitates because he's like, this is not look inviting, and he looks to Devin for reassurance, and she said,
"Do you remember the last thing that she said to me?" And he says, "She's alive." And then
end the episode, which we should have known. Excited for next week, of course. I know we just been talking the past few minutes. I want to kind of see if there was anything. Oh, no, you kept us on pace. I don't know what opening scene. Oh, you said you wish that scene.
Yes. I wish that the Innie and Audi scene, the scene with them at the retreat, was the opening scene. After watching it, I still think that could have been the opening scene.
What would be the ending?
Irving leaving.
Or Dylan getting in the elevator.
Either one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we got everything. I said we talked about Monopoly. Now I want to get out the Monopoly board and look at the game, the other pieces, and see if any other pieces could be Severance related too. It wouldn't shock me. So next week is the end.
Yes, I can't believe it.
I'm ready and not ready at the same time because, like, I know once we get it and it'll be great and it'll be so satisfying. But then we gotta wait another year at least.
We gonna rewatch it.
But a year is better than 3 years. It hasn't been 3 years for you. It's been 3 years for me.
In the first season, I didn't have to worry. I binged the first season. I didn't have to worry about waiting a whole week to wonder if Helly was alive or not.
But she complained about minutes. Like, when the episode...
Look, that was the longest 3 minutes of my life, okay?
I was like, I had to wait a whole week. A whole week. And I didn't think that would happen, but you never know with this show. Because at that point, they had already... Petey had died.
Yeah.
So it was like, it's possible. Yeah. So, I don't know, besides that being any James talking to Helly, any more theories for next week? And it doesn't have to be just like what you think might happen. Is there something you want to happen? I'm trying to think too.
I know that I would.
We got to see Gemma.
Yes, I want to see Gemma very much so. I don't know. I'm honestly just trusting the show.
Yeah. I just wonder, like, will we get more Dylan? I think it's like, I can see a world where we don't see more Dylan.
Like forever or just for this episode?
For this finale episode. I could see us not seeing Audie Dylan or any Dylan.
I definitely hope it's mostly Mark.
We need Mark. We haven't been that's what I said about Miss Cobell a few episodes ago. But he is the point. Him and Gemma is the point of the story. I want to see whatever plays out in the cabin, and then we need him back at Lumen to rescue. But once if he figures out where she is, goes through the elevator, will the switch not affect him because he's reintegrated? But I can see a world where he gets to the door and they could even be talking through the door. Oh my God, that'd be so sad. If he gets to the door to rescue Gemma and Gemma hears his voice and they talk, and then he can't get her out though because his is not his blood. And then what if it just went off after that? I'd be so mad, but also, and I'm sure it'd probably more exciting than what I'm saying, but I'm excited either way.
Me too.
All right. I know this is a long video. It's going to take me a few minutes because I have to edit. I have to put these 3 clips together, so I will learn new skills. Thank you all for anybody who's watching. We appreciate you hanging out, watching Severance with us in our Lumen Blue, as always. And we'll see you next week for the finale.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Praise Kier.